The courtroom doors hadn't even closed yet when the whisper started to spread, because everyone could feel it. This wasn't just a family dispute. It was a moment that would change lives. The man standing at the center of it all didn't look angry or confused. He looked resolved. And when he finally spoke, his words would shock everyone who thought they knew him. Before we go any further, take a quick second to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment where you're watching from. Stories like this deserve to be heard, and your support helps them reach the right people. Now let me tell you how it all came to this. David Miller had always been the kind of man people trusted. Calm voice, steady hands, the type who didn't raise his tone even when the world pushed him to the edge. He built his life carefully, career first, stability next, family last. His first marriage came early, back when he believed love alone could fix anything. Emily was charming at first, sharp-witted and ambitious, the kind of woman who commanded a room. But over time, charm turned into control, and ambition hardened into cruelty. Nothing David did was ever enough. The house felt colder each year, quieter but heavier, filled with rules and unspoken punishments. When the marriage finally ended, there were no dramatic scenes, just exhaustion and relief tangled together. Years later, Aisha entered his life without force or expectation. She was gentle in a way that didn't beg for attention, strong without needing to dominate. She listened. She laughed easily. She healed parts of David he hadn't realized were still bleeding. When they married, it wasn't about replacing the past, it was about choosing peace. Or so he thought. Emily didn't see it that way. To her, Aisha wasn't just a new wife, she was an insult. A reminder that David had survived her. At first, the hostility was subtle snide comments through mutual friends. Passive-aggressive messages, quiet attempts to undermine. David ignored it, believing silence would starve the fire. He was wrong. When bitterness has nowhere to go, it sharpens. It escalated when Emily began spreading lies. She painted Aisha as a manipulator, a gold digger, someone who had stolen a life that was never hers to begin with. Family members started calling with concern masked as judgment. Old friends pulled away. Even co-workers looked at Aisha differently, curiosity replacing kindness. Through it all, Aisha stayed quiet. She told David she didn't want to cause problems, that she could handle it. But handling cruelty doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. The breaking point came one evening when David found Aisha sitting at the kitchen table, phone in her hand, eyes hollow. Someone had sent her screenshots, messages Emily had posted publicly, accusing her of destroying a family, of being morally corrupt, of things so untrue they felt unreal. David read every word, his jaw tightening, his chest burning. This wasn't pain anymore. This was attack. The next morning, David did something no one expected. He didn't call Emily in private. He didn't ask her to stop quietly. He filed a formal complaint for harassment and defamation. Family members were stunned. Friends warned him not to make things worse. Even Aisha hesitated, afraid of the fallout. But David had already decided. I stayed silent once, he told her. I won't do that again. When the day came for mediation, the room was thick with tension. Emily sat across from them, confident, almost smug, certain that David would fold like he used to. She spoke first, her voice sharp, rehearsed, painting herself as the victim. She expected David to stay quiet. He didn't. When it was his turn, he stood, steady and clear. He didn't insult her. He didn't raise his voice. He simply told the truth about the control, the manipulation, the years of walking on eggshells. And then he spoke about Aisha, about her patience, her dignity, the way she endured cruelty she never deserved. I chose her, he said plainly, not to hurt you, not to erase the past. I chose her because she brings peace into my life, and I will not allow anyone, including you, to take that away. The room went silent. Emily's confidence cracked just for a moment. She tried to interrupt, to redirect, but it was too late. The narrative had shifted. Evidence followed. Messages, screenshots, timelines. The truth stacked itself neatly, undeniably. By the end of the session, the mediator's tone had changed completely. Boundaries were set, consequences outlined. Emily left furious but exposed. Outside, Aisha finally let the tears fall. Not from fear, but from release. She hadn't asked David to fight for her. She hadn't demanded loyalty. He chose it freely. And that choice changed everything. The whispers stopped. The lies lost oxygen. Family members apologized, some sincerely, others awkwardly. David didn't celebrate. He simply returned to the life he was building, one honest day at a time. What people never understood was that this wasn't about first or second wives. It was about growth, about refusing to repeat cycles of silence and survival. David didn't abandon his past, he learned from it. And when the moment came to stand firm, he didn't hesitate. Sometimes the strongest thing a person can do isn't to walk away. It's to stand up calmly, clearly, and say, this ends here. And in choosing his second wife, David didn't just defend a person. He defended the future he worked so hard to build.